Hello everyone, it is time for Take Home Tuesday, Wednesday style. As you know, yesterday we typically like to do our Take Home Tuesdays at Tuesday on some time, not a specific time anymore. Well, yesterday we were so privileged and lucky that our store was hopping. We had people in here, we had long armors. It was a wonderful day for us at Hen and Chicks Studio, but that meant we had to kind of hesitate or give pause to Take Home Tuesday. So therefore it is coming to you on Wednesday. And we're at that time of year, at least around here in central Iowa, or any place you're at, you're kind of between the holidays, and some of you like to decorate for holidays, but we have a window display that we like to put some fun and hang some fun things in. If you went to a previous episode, you saw that we made some paper stars. Well, guess what's going to happen here? Apparently, I'm being told it's going to perhaps snow here this weekend. We are going to be making some snowflakes. And you remember when you were little, and Cameron's behind the camera for me today, but when you folded the piece of paper and you cut little shapes and you had all those fun snowflakes, and you had all the little pieces of paper everywhere and confetti-ish and all that. Well, we're going to do something a little bit, I don't know, shall we say more sophisticated? I don't know. Some of those cutouts of snowflakes, I've seen some people do beautiful things. Obviously, if you have a snowflake pattern, I know there are some that you can download that you can actually cut specifically into the snowflake, folding it a different way, make some. Share those with us in the comments, put some pictures up, inspire other people that way. Heidi has a different way she's going to make snowflakes, so we'll try to make it, but get her way to do it. But today we're going to make my way of a snowflake. And so this is what we're using. We are using two-sided scrapbook paper for ours. On this one I'm showing you, this is one of our finished one that's going to go on the window. This has 4. You could also do it with 6 to give a fuller snowflake effect. And you could also do it with fabric if you wanted to make a stiffer fabric by putting some interface in between two fabrics, fuse it together that way. So let's get started. What you'll need is squares. You get to pick what size of paper you want to use. As I said, on this size of paper or this particular snowflake, your typical white copy paper is not going to be sturdy enough to hold the shape very well unless you use very small squares. Something to think about when you're doing that. We are using, as I said, two-sided scrapbook paper and cutting it down into squares. The square size that I used for this one, you need 4 or 6, depending how full you want. This one has 4 of the same size square. Okay, I used 6 inches on mine. So I took my, and you know, sometimes it's handy to have all these tools that you use in quilting or sewing to cut your things down. So I simply cut it down, start with a regular piece of scrapbook paper, trimmed off my white edge. Cameron, you tell me if I need to move or do something.
No, you're good.
Because you see it. And then I'm just going to take it, and if you had your strip out ruler, you could just lay it on there too. See? Voila. Boom, bang, boom. I got my 0, and I'm going to make 6-inch squares. So having these tools handy, this Hen and Chicks Studio, if you ever order, you know that we put cardboard in our kits, or if you shop in here. So we actually have rotary cutters that say cardboard. So we are not using our fabric. Don't worry, Mom. I'm not using fabric scissors on pieces of paper. Anybody else have that? Do not use my fabric scissors. So we cut into 4 or 6, whatever size you want. Okay? From there, I'm going to fold my paper into a triangle. I almost said diamond. Okay? Then, again, I'm going to come back and use my cutter, my rotary cutter, and I'm going to just cut some slits up to close, but not too close to that center point. And I'm doing just over a 1/2 inch, somewhere around there for mine. Of course, if you don't have this tool available, you can just use scissors. You see how I'm just cutting them? And no specific, you know, no 2 snowflakes are the same, right? So if none of mine turn out exactly the same, that is perfectly fine. Just like us, Cameron. None of us are the same. We're all unique. We all have our own talents, sometimes hidden talents, right? Okay, so then I come and I have my slits. They're all formed here. Now, just like all things, when you're doing something, when I got my glue stick out, guess what? My glue stick was dried up. So we're using rubber cement today. So from there, I'm going to fold each one of these flaps backwards, and I have put some rubber cement on here and let it dry for a little bit because it's too wet. And then I'm going to skip one and go to the next one. So I had put my rubber cement on this side, so it would have a little bit of tackiness before. Again, a great project you could do with the kids if you have a snow day coming up. Maybe Cameron will make some at home with her sisters.
Oh yeah,
if they have a snow day. There's all sorts of different ways you can do it, of course, but this is what we're showing you today. Then I need to flip it over to the other side. This is how I get my dimensional look. Put some rubber cement on here. And if you happen to have, hold on, what do I do with it? Your handy dandy Wonder Clips, and you have to be using rubber cement, you can use your, so if you notice I'm doing it so they're kind of matching at the edge here, and then clipping or holding it to dry. So see how I'm kind of doing that? Can you see, Cameron?
Mm-hmm, yep.
Okay. And I just happen to have a few Wonder Clips here that we have laying around, so we put those on there to hold, okay? So now I've created these pieces. The next step is very simple. After you get all those in, you're going to start to form your snowflake, and this one's probably not going to be dry enough because we're doing it on air. So this snowflake I decided needed to be 2 different colors. This was 4, all the same. This one I decided needed to be 2 for fun, because all snowflakes are built differently. We'll see if these are dry enough to take off. So then I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to start, if I had a glue stick or hot glue, I could glue it together or staple them. We're going to staple for the sake of time today. We're going to start building our snowflake this way. So you can see this one I use actually 2 different sizes of squares, and I'm just giving it a staple in the center. Just personally, I like it when the staple doesn't show, but we're starting to build it. Do you see how it's going? So then when you start hanging it up in the window, you have a nice shape starting to form to it. All right, these, we'll see if they're dry enough. Doesn't look like they're quite dry yet enough to put on there. So again, as always, make sure you give other people inspiration by showing us how you do it, or maybe come up with a really fun snowflake and start putting them in the comments to see what, or if you're on our creative community, go ahead and put them in there. We'll go ahead and staple this one on, even though that one side is drying. If I can get in here with my stapler. And the 2-sided scrapbook paper, of course, makes it give even more fun. See if I can squeeze it in here somehow. As with all things, let's get in here. And we just have the small stapler. And somebody can laugh at my struggle here. All right. Ta-da! Now I can kind of straighten it out as I want, but then I have another snowflake that's starting to form here. All right, I'm going to lay that down while that's drying there. So this one, I think I want to do some that have 6 on it and some different things, but Cameron and I thought it'd be really fun, because we use staple instead of glue, to come back in here, of course, since it's going at our window, and put one of our Hen and Chicks stickers in the middle. Does that look cute?
Oh yeah.
Good. So now we're just going to take some fishing line string and start hanging these in our display window at the front of the store. So when you come visit us at Hen and Chicks Studio, maybe we'll take a picture when we get it all done and post it. As always, we're about all things creative here at Hen and Chicks Studio, whether it's sewing, crafting, cooking, making things for outside. check out some of our previous episodes that we've done, henandchicksstudio.com. Under the inspiration tab, go to Take Home Tuesday. You can see all sorts of different ideas or fun little projects that you can do on your own. Keep inspiring each other. You keep inspiring us. And until next week, choose happy and be creative.